Hey there, this is Ludwig from Phasio, and we have created a custom process with an example post-processing in the previous videos, and now we're going to make use of that. So let's go under quotes to add a new quote. Currently, there's just myself as a customer. I hit continue, and I'm going ahead and uploading a few parts to this. So let's just use this part. I see that the custom technology is chosen and the example is as well. And the price is $469. So now you might wonder, like, why on earth is this $496 actually? And you can always click the modify pricing part. However, this will actually in this case not show much because we have not yet made use of variables. And let's just go ahead and do that. So I go into my process and I go and edit the equation in here. And now the calculated unit price I took from the example up here. And we can also just use the next line in the example and just put that in here. And what you see is that we create something that's called variable, and it's a function, and you can again hover over it, and it's explained what it does. So this exposes a variable definition to the Phasio UI. So we have this variable here now, and it's called override unit price. I'll just take away the white spaces and make this follow the camel case convention. Now I have my final unit price here, and this is also the one that I want to communicate to the front end, to the customer, that this is the final unit price. I'll just hit save, and just for you to see, right, I didn't change much. I just made sure that this calculated unit price is actually a variable so that I can overwrite this value as I want to. And you will see that once we go back to the building the equations. So I save this, now I hit cancel to get out of this, and I'll do the same for the post process. So I go into the post process, click edit, I will edit the equation, and here the price per unit, I'll do this manually, variable, I add the string, and at the end I need a bracket for this to be very valid, and here I give a name, override unit price. And then I'm also saving this so that when we add a part again in a quote, we can overwrite the post-processing unit price as well as the unit price for the part itself. So let's do exactly the same. Upload the same part again. And we see that this change didn't change anything in price. However, when I click on modify pricing now, you'll see that I have an override unit price available here. And I could simply go ahead and override the unit price to be, for example, 5 instead, right? Now, if I associate the post-processing by right-clicking and choosing the right post-process, I have the example post-process, and you see it's 550, and that is because of the 10% addition that we defined. Now, in the example post-process, I can also overwrite the unit price. And now, when I, for example, say, okay, this is not 5, but rather, like, say, 10, you see that also here the default value for the post process is changed immediately. So that means you can actually override any value within your equation in line, and all the post processes will take effect and will actually show you what the updated value is. If you have a client where you're like, nope, like we don't actually want to charge like we want to charge more, you could also just put more in here and that will override the total price. Have a play with these variables and make sure that in their variable names in here, you do not have any white spaces or hyphens, and then the actual value of the number that is in here will be shown to you in the UI, and you can override that number. And think about, for example, the case for an FDM, for example, where you might estimate a support volume. You can actually put the support volume inside a variable, and then you're able to overwrite that whenever you're like, nope, this estimation doesn't look right. I just want to check this perfectly. Or for something like in CNC or molding, you can create a semi-automated pricing calculation. And there will be more details about CNC, FDM, powder bed, and also vacuum casting pricing in following videos. Hope to see you there.